Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to the Today's Restaurant News Networking Group. My name is Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of Today's Restaurant News, and I'll be your host for today. We are a group of vendors who are here to help each other grow our business, and we're here also to answer any questions that a restaurant owner, manager, or chef might have that our years of experience in the industry can be called upon to help you solve the problem. If you'd like to give us a call at 561-620-8888 or go to our website at trnusa.com and be sure to check out our YouTube channel, which is Today's Restaurant. And if you want to submit a question, submit it to info@trnusa.com. So again, I want to mention that on March 29th is going to be our next combined meeting. So mark your calendar for that. And let's go into our regular intros, and then I have a couple of topics that I'd like to discuss. And let's start out with Gabby.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Gabby with Worksite PEO. We're a full service HR outsourcing and PEO. So we'll do all your payroll, benefits, workers' comp, 401k, and HR consultation. We specialize in the restaurant and hospitality industry. We also are able to file your FICA to tax credit and give you an advance every single quarter so that you don't have to worry about either processing it, or you have also an allowance for cash flow every single quarter that you can count on. We're also very good at helping with strategic growth for restaurants and hospitality and business in general. We have a lot of connections in several different industries, and we can help with any kind of strategic growth that you're looking for, including talent management. Gabby with Worksite PEO, 561-479-7474.
Great. Thank you. Darren, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Darren Gall, Tracy.net. We take the aches and pains out of phone and internet services. We are a full communications consulting company. We have our own platform as well as our master agents for just about all the major carriers you may know. And what we do is we come into a full consultative approach, try and identify any pain points in your current situation and help you to resolve them with technology. So if you know anybody who hasn't looked at a phone bill in a few years, might be overpaying for their services, we would appreciate the introduction. It's no charge for us to do our review. We have products specific for the restaurant industry to eliminate busy signals. So lots of ways we can help them. You can reach us online at www.traci.net or email sales@tracy.net or call us at 800-881-8899.
Thank you. Let's go to the Gottesmans.
Hi.
Hi.
Want me to speak?
Yeah.
Okay, hi. Rob and I started Delicious Spoonfuls, Florida Inc., which is a nonprofit focused on training and employing people with special needs, including Down syndrome and autism, using a mobile ice cream cart. So we do events. We just did
We're just very tight. We just did a business expo yesterday at Broward County, actually Broward Chamber of Commerce at Baha Mar, Fort Lauderdale, and we're doing a double event next weekend. One is a Purim party, and the other one is a
happy hour
party with about 80 people, and we're booked now until the summer. We're hoping to do more weddings and other types of parties as well. We also excuse me one sec. Yeah,
I gotta get the door.
We also do a bunch of trainings for people with disabilities. We have a new office now, 1200 Federal Highway, off Glades in Boca Raton. So that's what we do, and I just want to say hope everybody has a great week.
Yeah, thank you. Max, good morning.
Good morning, Howard. Good
Oh, I
morning,
gotta go.
everyone. My name is
Hi.
Vince Puglia. I'm an attorney. I'm a corporate attorney for my solo practice Boyle Law Firm, where my firm focuses on hospitality, entertainment, and general corporate matters. So if
Take
you're
a
looking
green
to
bag.
buy a business, sell a business, re restructure your corporate structure, and meaning that you're seeking to get investors into your already established restaurants. So that means you would have to free up some shares so investors can purchase. I could do all that for you, employment agreements and the like. So anything transactional needed for your business and for your restaurant, I can assist with.
How do we reach you?
Oh, you can reach me at max@beaulieu.lawfirm.com. That's BEAULIEU lawfirm.com. I'd love to hear from you.
Okay, you want to give us a phone number, or you?
Oh, sure, yes. 646-253-0558.
Okay, good. Azalea, good morning.
Hey, good morning, team. My name is Asalia. I am a business broker and commercial realtor in South Florida. I do Miami-Dade and Broward. If you're looking for a home for your restaurant, or if you want to get rid of the home that your current restaurant is in, you let me know. We help business owners buy, sell, and also rent second generation spaces. My cell phone is 786-457-2796. Thank you.
Do you help restaurants find locations?
Yes, so that's I'll take off the business brokerage hat and we'll put on the commercial realtor hat. So if they already have multiple locations, if they're established, we can get them second generation spaces, which is a space that's been closed down and it was a restaurant. It has the infrastructure, it has a grease trap, but the landlord just wants someone with experience for that. So if they don't have experience, we can probably do one of the key money business brokerage deals. And if they do, then we can do a second generation space.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
By the
you.
way, if anybody wants to schedule themselves for a presentation in the upcoming weeks, let me know. We'd love to have that happen. Randy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Glad to be back. Randy Computis here with Heartland Payroll and HR Solutions. We handle everything from startups to multi-locations and acquisitions. I can be reached at 585-622-2993. Thank you.
Did you get a hold of my son?
I did. Thank you. Not his expertise. So
Okay, I thought maybe he might know somebody.
yeah, we're looking into it. So I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. Where am I? Chris, good morning.
Good morning. So, don't know where John Mulholland Waldo is today. I guess Kevin's taking care of some personal stuff. So I'm the only amigo here today. So we are strategic supply chain partners. We function as an outsourced purchasing department for our clients. Small to mid-market restaurant groups are typically where we are the best fit. Too small to have a professional purchasing department. Oftentimes the owner or one of their chefs is trying to do purchasing, and we help them put better deals in place at the distribution level and at the manufacturer level. Typically save 8 to 15% on the pricing they're paying. There's a ton of things that can be done with purchasing if people would be open-minded to look at how they're doing things. We also are in the process of signing our first couple of consulting deals. So instead of being savings based, it's pure consulting as a purchasing department. So that's another avenue we're able to explore moving forward. Basically, instead of hiring in-house, you hire us as your outsourced purchasing, and we're just going to get paid a fee instead of on a percentage of save. So normally what we do is 100% contingency. Like I'm saying, now we have two different models. Both of them work well. So again, strategic supply chain partners, and Howard, you guys post all our contact info. I'm not going to try to rattle off mine, Kevin and John's, but we're available to, help people improve their purchasing.
Okay. Thank you. John, you with us? Marinek? How about Stephanie? You with us? Oh, there's just switch places on me.
Yeah, I was able to put down the baby. Hi, everyone. So, Mark and I, and we actually are going to be potentially even bringing on, for some things, my sister Allison. So family business, Brilliant Computers. We are IT professionals. We can help you with anything, all things IT. When in doubt, reach out. We do business, email hosting and support, hardware and software implementation and support. Again, anything you can think of IT, we can help you with. The best way to reach us is by our, best way to reach us is support, SUPPORT, at brilliantcomputers.com. That'll open up a request for a technical support ticket. And then our website is www.brilliantcomputers.com. And then the phone number for us is 561-877-1119. So, yep, keep your eyes out on suspicious emails, change your passwords often. Again, if anything looks suspicious, give us a call. Don't call any numbers that your computer tells you to call. That's my little tidbit for today.
I've been getting 2 or 3 emails a day from I don't know who, but it's asking me to DocuSign.
Yeah,
There's a lot of lenders that send that out to me,
yeah,
potential lenders.
and
All right,
a
we're
lot
going to
of
give
times
you
they're not.
$500,000 for your business. You've been pre-approved, and I'm like, yeah, right.
No, this is something they want me to open the file and sign these documents. I could be in the middle of a lawsuit and not know about it because I'm not opening the damn file. Because
Yeah,
Do you know who it's coming from?
it seems to be coming from out of the country. Because
That's garbage.
wouldn't
DocuSign should only be something that is you've been told in advance. I'm sending you something that you've negotiated,
Right.
whatever kind of a deal,
Exactly.
legal or otherwise. It's you've done the negotiations. The last step is DocuSign. You always know a legit DocuSign. You should always know who it's coming from.
Right.
Anything that's like showing up out of the blue for you to sign, straight to the trash.
Yeah.
Stephanie, would you
Exactly.
agree with that?
I do agree. I do. And honestly, I think a lot of people, they just go like, well, what is this? Was there something I'm working on that I forgot? It's just, don't even click on it. And one of the ways, especially if you're in Outlook, if you're not sure who the email came from, you can actually hover because they can spoof the email.
That's
so
what I
it'll
did.
say, Howard Appel at today'srestaurantnews.com, but then you hover above it and you see all these numbers and letters and then at gmail.com, so like they have the technology to be able to do this. Even worse, they have the technology to be able to call you, know your, Florida Power and Light information, know your bill amount, and know your address, and try and claim that your payments haven't gone through. So if anybody ever calls you and is like starting to ask for bank information or saying because there was non-payment, now we have.
I usually just say, I'm too busy to talk now. Give me your phone number. I'll get back to you. And in the meantime, I get the correct information and call them.
Or I tell them to call back and then they don't.
So I saw a reel on Instagram of this one lady that got scammed just like that. They spoofed called her pretending to be her bank phone number. So with that technology, they actually changed their phone number to say Discover Bank. So it looks
I
like
got one from Redwood Credit Union once.
when it looks like before you answer the call that your bank is calling you. So while they were on the phone, they told her that her account had been flagged fraudulent, and they sent her passcodes to be verified. So she verified the passcodes, or like the numbers, the 4-digit numbers.
Yeah.
And when she got off the phone, she looked at her account and there were several wire transfers that were transferred out from her account into a different account. So the passcodes that they were telling her they were sending her, it was confirmation numbers when you wire transfer something, that you're, that it's you. So they logged into her account, pretended that it was her, got her on the phone, pretended that it was the bank, and transferred themselves money. She hasn't been able to recover that. So it's very, 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 very important to
Yeah.
be
Chris?
recognized.
Back to the DocuSign thing. If you don't know who it's coming from, I would trash it. And then if you did have a DocuSign, a legitimate DocuSign, whoever sent it and you only get that from somebody you've been doing some kind of
Right,
negotiation.
like a real estate
They
transaction or
will
something.
call you and say, Howard, why didn't you sign? I didn't recognize where it came from. I threw it out. Resend it to me.
Oh,
And
I'm
as far as
very,
bank stuff,
I'm
I
very
get those
aware.
things with. Go ahead, Howard.
Yes, Stephanie and I have gone round and round on some items. I'm very aware of some of these scams, and I am convinced, and this is something you can look out for, especially on Facebook. If you have an account on Facebook and you don't use it, somebody is watching that account, because I've gotten friend requests from people who I know are dead. And because their account's not being used and it wasn't taken down, so they assume that they can grab that information and they come around and ask for friends, and then they get that way. I got a phone call from a guy who was an advertiser of mine probably 10 years ago. And he was an older guy at that time. I don't know if he's still alive, but it wasn't him. It was from, some spam call.
Yeah, DHHS is a popular one.
Yeah.
They tell you, they start off, they're an old acquaintance, and you think, okay, it's nice to hear from them. And suddenly, have you heard about this deal from DHHS? And I'm like, who the hell is that? And then when I looked it up, because it was like 4 or 5 people that tried that with me, and I'm like, no, thank you, goodbye. But
I'm
it turns
sure.
out that's a popular scam.
Well, I'm sure that Stephanie will tell you this, that if they ask you a question and you say yes, you have opted into something.
Mm-hmm.
So don't answer them,
And they can record your voice. Be careful, see, it's challenging when you have a phone that is also used for business, because then, hello, this is Stephanie, right? Like that can be, so when you say that, they can record it, and don't say anything after that unless you know for sure that it's someone you want to be talking to. Because if you respond, yes, I understand, yes, they could just record all of that and basically do business as you, and don't provide any personal information.
Yeah, for sure. Chris?
Just saying hello is better. Just hello.
Yeah, my new rule of thumb is, y'all are going to think I'm some kind of antisocial jerk. If I get a call from a number that is not in my phone with a name attached to it, I don't even answer the phone.
Right.
I let them all go to voicemail.
Right.
And then I'll listen to the voicemail. First of all, I'll look at where the number's from, what the area code is. And if they say there's some kind of business, but it's got a weird area code, it's not an 800.
Yeah.
That's flag number 1.
Google it.
Flag number 2, you listen to the message. If it doesn't sound legit, I just delete them. Because if it's real business, they will always contact you. And secondly, Stephanie, correct me if I'm wrong, but most legitimate financial institutions now have 2-factor authentication, where you can't do anything.
Yes.
Without. So
yeah,
if they don't have that, I throw it away.
Yeah, they'll verify your identity. A real business, you can cross-reference the phone number. They'll be okay with you cross-referencing the phone number. You'll likely have received a letter already, or you can, log in and verify yourself while you're on the phone. If they're calling and saying you overdrafted or something.
And just from a common sense standpoint, anything that feels like this is not the way American Express or MasterCard or Chase Bank or whoever normally communicates with me, I ain't touching it.
Yep. And
I'll make them work. If it's for real, they can work to find me, but I'd rather do that to protect myself than get get
Because
started.
I answer for, I know there's cards of mine, Mark hands out my number, there's people that are calling me that aren't in my phone. Sometimes even the scam likely ones are real people. What I do is I'll answer them and I'll kind of wait. Because if you wait just about a second, you'll hear this ding on anything that is more than likely a scam, because you've answered, now you've dropped into their call center. And then
Yeah.
and that's the connection, the think, and then someone starts talking, I just don't even respond, right? But
Yep.
if I see it's normal number and I listen and I can hear the background static noise and that someone's actually there, that is more likely when I'm going to say, "Hello, this is Stephanie." It's just, you got to use kind of some caution and awareness in your environment, both online, on the phone, in person, just again, when in doubt, when it comes to technology, reach out. I'm happy to answer any questions. You can send me screenshots, even via text message. I'll put my number in the chat, and that's my direct line.
Okay, John Marinek, are you back with us? Okay. Well, I'm gonna, as you know, I spend a lot of time online, and I'm involved with many groups on LinkedIn and Facebook and all the rest of the junk. And sometimes I get questions, sometimes posted like this one anonymously. So I want to read this to you and get your thoughts on it. This is kind of interesting. All right. I have a dilemma. A few of my employees have gotten together and talked about salaries. Now they both want a raise because they both don't think it's fair as to what they're making. One of them even compared himself to a third employee who makes more than him, even though he works harder. But the third employee started working with us earlier. What should I do in this situation? They're both good employees that I don't want to lose, but I feel like they're putting me against the wall. Yes, you are being put against the wall. Now, what do we do? Chris is going to go out of his mind. Go ahead, Chris.
Are you sure you want me to go on this one, Howard?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This stuff starts with organizational culture. It continues with how you train, the expectation you set for your people. It involves what kind of career path you provide. So when I'm consulting with clients with my consulting business, not strategic, this is the work that I do. And my rule is you build your business so that you are never beholden to an individual. The individuals, the human beings you hire, are beholding and accountable to your system. Your system is your culture, your standard operating procedures, your recipes, every procedure, every single thing that you do in your business needs to be a documented procedure. My analogy is like a playbook for sports. And a business should run like Nick Saban ran Alabama football. You could plug anybody into any position and they're still competing for a national championship, period, end of story. It's not just about the talent, but it's about the system. So if you do all of this stuff right, nobody's ever asking you, what do I need to do to get a raise? Because the career path says, here's where you are. Here's the next 3 steps you have to take to earn a raise. How are you doing on your career path? That's the question you should be asking. Are you hitting the KPIs? Are you hitting the benchmarks? When you do those things, you will earn a raise. The second thing is, because in this situation, I'm sure none of this is defined. So here's the other fundamental thing about organizational culture. Okay. Until you define for everybody in clear language, clear expectations, this is how we view performance. This is what you're being measured against. And it's always an objective KPI. If it's in a restaurant and you're a cook, it's a 12-minute cook time standard for entrees, okay? It's a 28.5% food cost. It's an 11% labor cost. Whatever your numbers are, everything has a metric attached to it. You don't want people looking at other people and going, I think I work harder than them, therefore I should earn more money. That's not what it's about. What do our standards say? What do our KPIs say? And how do you measure up? That makes it objective, that makes it fair, and it also takes all of this nonsense out of the equation. You should not have people asking you, what do I need to do? If people are asking you or threatening you like this and putting your back against the wall to get a raise, you've already lost because you don't have a performance management system that they're able to follow and you're able to track them in. Other than that, Howard, I got nothing.
But you're 100% right. And most of the time, the people who are going to adhere to what you said are the corporate customers. A mom and pop restaurant, Joe's Pizzeria or Jim's Sandwich Shop, they don't have spec books. They don't have all of that in writing. They don't follow those rules. So go ahead.
Okay, so here's the deal. Okay. And yeah, Howard, I do consulting business. I've done it with restaurant companies. I've done it with other industries. The answer is always the same. You know what they tell you when you ask them, why don't you have those things? Oh, we don't have time. We're too busy just trying to run the business. The problem is until they learn, you have to take a step back and build that infrastructure. You're always going to have high turnover. You're always going to be in this dilemma, and you're going to spend all your time fighting that stuff instead of building your business, getting new clients, and improving your revenue and your profit. And then if you do the analysis, which I've done, the restaurant industry quotes as much as 100% annual turnover. Now, the numbers vary a little bit year to year, and it also varies depending on which segment you're in. Fine dining, polished casual, fast casual, fast food, etc. At the end of the day, if you employ 30 employees, let's use low numbers. I'm used to working with 75 to 100 employees. Cornell University years ago said it costs $5,000 for every employee you turn over. If you employ 30 employees a year and you have 100% turnover, 30 times 5,000, I believe, is $150,000.
That's a waste of
Every
money.
dollar that you have let bleed out of your company, lost profit, because you don't have the time to document the stuff you're talking about, Howard, contributes to that $150,000 turnover, hidden costs that nobody tracks on their P&L. I track it. I track turnover. I ran a company as a CEO. We took turnover from 100% down to 34%, 5 consecutive years. How much money do you think we put in the bank? How much money do you think we were able to invest in our people because we decided stop bleeding out the back end and invest in people on the front end? If you teach culture and you commit to training and you commit to, and you can do a lot with 150,000. By the way, if you're a corporate restaurant with 100 employees and 100% turnover, what's 100 times 5,000?
Right.
That's all your profit bleeding away. This is so doable, but people got to get out their own heads with this excuse, we don't have time. My attitude is you can't afford not to do these things. If you want a successful business, you cannot afford to not have culture, the right culture, hire people that fit your values, train, develop, and have career pay. It's all doable.
And that shouldn't be a cumbersome task. It shouldn't be a daunting task. There is companies like us that we actually help with creating the culture. We have a performance tracking system that is within our company, that is within our portal, that is very easy for the manager to create a goal, to keep the task, to keep track of the goal, and to create even company goals and systematic goals by department and then by individual. If you feel that you're overwhelmed already as it is, and you don't have the time to do everything that you're already supposed to do, why are you going to put more things in your plate? Then you're not utilizing the tools that you have or you could have to the best of the ability. That means that you're not seeking out for vendors that can actually help you alleviate the burden that you're carrying. It might be an upfront cost, but at the end, like Chris said it, you're actually overall saving money. Not only are you saving money on turnover, but you're saving money on other things, creating a very nice culture for your business, creating stickiness, loyalty. A happy employee has been proven time and time again to take care of your clients. So if you're creating a happy employee, that means that you're also creating more revenue for your company. So at the end of the day, instead of putting upfront cost and worrying about how much is this going to cost me, worry about how much is this going to save me and how much can I produce from this? How much workload can I alleviate from my plate and put it in experts' hands that will actually help me grow and create a better business for me and my employees?
So Gabby,
You know-
let me add on to that. So you're calling it a happy employee. I'm a technical guy and an analytical guy. I use the term an engaged employee.
Mm-hmm.
There's a term about employee engagement, okay? And engaged employees are the ones who will give you quote unquote discretionary effort. And what you want is a team who is highly engaged in your business that
Mm-hmm.
give you that discretionary. An engaged employee will produce twice the work of a disengaged employee. And this isn't Chris shooting his mouth off. Gallup does a survey every year. They dive into engagement into great detail. This is all statistically proven factual information about the way people work.
Mm-hmm.
The number one reason people leave employment is because the way they're treated. If you treat them right, you will create engaged employees. And there's also statistical proof that over time, the better you get turnover under control, or let me rephrase that, the better you are at retaining good employees. There's an absolute statistical correlation between sales and profit and retention. It's math.
So there's a phrase that actually I saw on LinkedIn and it stuck with me for a very long time. People don't leave jobs, they leave bosses, they leave
Yeah.
leadership. So if you don't have a good leadership system in place, your business is not going to succeed as much as it can succeed.
And so to tag on to that, the people who look at your business and you're saying, I don't have time to create all of this stuff. They're looking at it going, it's disorganized. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I quit.
To add on to that as well, this restaurant owner, right, is writing in their concerns. They're engaging with their employees, answering questions. They're spending time worrying about not having enough time to create a clear picture, but they're spending so much more time trying to clean up the mess along the way and keep everybody happy. But then if they were just clear and had the time to be available, they could actually be more available for customers. They could be more available for, real conflicts in the workplace, and also, marketing and bringing in more people in a positive light. A stressed out boss is going to just push employees and customers away.
And especially in the restaurant industry, is so crucial to have a good cultural engagement, because servers and front end of your office, of your restaurant, is actually what actually creates customer loyalty. So if you have it's such a different experience as a client to come in and have a waiter that is, hey, how you doing? Yeah, we have this great thing in the menu. You're gonna love it. Da 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 da. Try this, try that, this wine will go great with this food, da da da, as opposed to coming in and what can I do for you today? What would you like? Yeah, no, we don't have that wine. It's so different. It's completely different. I go to places where I feel fantastic when I come in, where the service is phenomenal. The food is great, and I can actually go to places where the food is mediocre, but the service is great. So that actually creates more business, more business for you and your restaurant, as opposed to taking away from, your business.
You know, everything that everybody has just said is 100% right. And the only thing that I would add to that is that that when Chris said that his client may say to him he doesn't have time, that part of the planning should happen as soon as they engage with Azalea. As soon as they,
Azalea.
well, she says it differently. uh, as soon as they engage with her or somebody like her, they should have those rules and regulations and guidelines already established. It doesn't matter the space; it matters what the procedures are. So I agree with everything you said, but I have a question. What do you think about profit sharing in the restaurant industry, Chris?
Okay, so I've actually going all the way back to when I was a kitchen manager, believe it or not, 44 years ago.
Hmm.
I identified a
10 at the
gap
time.
between my theoretical food costs and my actual food costs. And one of the ideas that I came up with, I went to my kitchen guys, said, you know what, guys, we got a problem. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give y'all a percentage of everything you help me find the lower food costs. That was a very simple form of profit sharing, and that worked for years in a variety of different arrangements. It's not the same as profit sharing like on a bottom line of a P&L, but it's certainly a way to get your people invested in positive financial results. And I've also been in companies where the incentive programs, the bonus programs, kind of had a profit sharing component to them. And I think full blown profit sharing can work fine too. Just don't give away the farm to share profit and then wake up realizing there's nothing left for you as the owner.
Yeah, we
But
talked
it's
about
very
this
doable.
earlier. We talked about this in the 9 o'clock group. So I didn't really know the structure of a profit sharing plan, but I asked, is there a percentage of the profit that goes into the profit sharing plan? So they take 7% of the profit and put
That
that
number is
into
going to vary based
yeah,
on your
yeah.
profit structure, but there's always a way to do it. And you know, some of the better companies out there, a lot of people may not know this, but Outback Steakhouse, that was their model when they started. As a general manager for one of their restaurants, you put up a certain amount of equity. If you didn't have it, they would loan it to you, but you had a true equity position. And I know Max, the new guy, the lawyer, is probably going to correct me on all my incorrect terminology, because I know equity and profit, there's a lot of complexity here and tax consequences. But at the end of the day, every one of those Outback guys was a part owner. P.F. Chang's model was very similar. And their whole idea was, we're going to do this because we're going to attract the best and the brightest in this industry. We're not going to hire, hired gun managers. We're going to hire guys with entrepreneurial spirit and real passion for running a business and being an owner. So and anybody want to argue with Outback's success or P.F. Chang's success? They may be in their declining years today as companies, but in their heyday, you couldn't hire a guy away from Outback if your life depended on it. And then when Outback went public, all of those guys made tons of money in the sale. So it's the model's out there. It's totally doable.
I like to add, when I do these profit sharing agreements, I usually like to have a vesting schedule in there, or clawback rights. Whereas, you have a chef who's an integral part of your kitchen and staff, obviously. But like most partnerships, you like to see how it goes. So say if you're giving them 25, 10 to 15 or 20% of the company, why I usually draft in my contracts is that, okay, we'll grant you the 20%, but the company has the ability to claw back some of it. So some of it, meaning is, say for the first year, if things don't work out prior to the first year anniversary, we'll terminate your contract and get 100% of all the interest. Second year, the second year we get to terminate you, and then we only claw back 50%. So it gives you the ability to give them skin in the game, but also if it doesn't work out, we're able to tell early enough, we could get a lot of our interest back from the chef. So and also having it that way is better tax implications than a typical vesting schedule. So that's an option that I usually like to have when bringing people in and having a profit sharing. So if you have any questions, please contact me.
Well, thank you. Again, thank you all for great input, great conversation. We've come to the end of our meeting. I want to thank everybody for coming. And don't forget, again, mark your calendar for March 29th. That's 2 weeks. And have a great weekend. Stay safe and let the sauce be with you.